Josh Allen or Patrick Mahomes? Who do you have winning in the AFC Championship game? You guys are listening to the KC Sports Report. I'm your host, Michael Darcy, and today I have the pleasure to have my good friend Covell Hudson on the show today. He hosts Inside the Pocket on Sports Radio 810 WHB, and we're going to talk a little Josh Allen, Patrick Mahomes. This is the rivalry that everybody in the NFL is watching. And I think that we're going to see a great game on Sunday because of how well both of these quarterbacks are playing. But Covell, my first question for you, we all know how scary and dangerous Josh Allen is, but what scares you, or not scares you, but what sticks out the most about Josh Allen's game?
So what sticks out the most is, I believe, his size, his length, his athleticism. It is, and you package all that. Usually, use Lamar as an example. I hate to call him a running back, so I'm not going to do it here. But Lamar Jackson can run. He can get anywhere on the field he needs to. But what you need from him is that throw on 3rd and 10, 3rd and 13 consistently. Lamar can't do that. Josh Allen can. And if he can't, he'll go run it for 20 yards. So as far as QB1 and QB2, it's between Patrick Mahomes and Josh Allen. But I'm a numbers guy. So if I had to put a number on Josh Allen and the Bills winning the game, I'd put it at about 33.9%, which is about 1/3. Because, I feel like the Chiefs would – the only player for the Bills that anybody's worried about is Josh Allen. Going into the season, the Bills were supposed to have a lowly season. They were supposed to be rebuilding. But Josh Allen, and I do a segment on In the Pocket. It's called Covell Was Right. And I picked them to be playing the Chiefs in the conference championship game because there's only a few unicorn goat-ish quarterbacks in the league, and Josh Allen's one of those. And he's a scary dude. It's nobody can get him down. His short yardage runs are better than the tush push. But other than that, he seems to be the only guy that people have to worry about as far as the Chiefs go. What do you think about that?
Yeah, honestly, I look at their defense, and I know that I probably should have more respect for them. I don't think their defense is very good. They rely on the turnover. The Chiefs don't turn the football over. Their offense has some good pieces, like James Cook is the running back. He's been very good, but Josh Allen is the straw that stirs the drink. Like, without him, your offense isn't functioning in Buffalo. And I think that the one thing that is kind of scary about Josh Allen is he went from a guy that he had all the physical traits. Like, he could go truck a guy, hurdle someone at like 260 pounds, but now he's not making mistakes. Now he's not throwing the ball to the other team, and that just makes him that much harder to beat as a quarterback. And so that's why Patrick Mahomes and Josh Allen are kind of in a 1A, 1B situation where Patrick Mahomes is still better because, he's the best current player in the NFL. But Josh Allen has taken his game to another level. And now he is playing, like an MVP candidate. Like, genuinely, he should win MVP this year because he didn't turn the football over and he threw for a bunch of touchdowns and a bunch of yards. But I don't know that if in this game he is going to get the defensive support to beat this Chiefs team. You give it a 33% chance. I think it's, around there. I'd give it like maybe a 45% chance. The Chiefs should still be a favorite, and they should be, given that respect. The Bills are a good football team. They just beat the Baltimore Ravens. They're coming off of 2 straight wins. This is a team that if you do not take seriously, they could come into Arrowhead and pull off a massive upset, and that's only possible if Josh Allen is just playing like an alien. So, how do you go about stopping Josh Allen, or at least limiting his damage?
All right, so I believe the way you go about stopping Josh Allen, you mentioned early in his career, I can go back to the year when the Chiefs came back and beat the Texans the week before. Didn't they? No, not the week before. I forgot what year it was. But Josh Allen was known for doing crazy things. He was almost Carson Wentz wise. Remember that playoff game when he threw the ball behind him? So he's made the adjustment of being more cautious, being more careful with the ball, and not turning the ball over. And I forgot, was it Buck? I forgot who was on the call. But when Josh Allen ran the ball, he said, I saw him think about throwing it, but then he didn't because he's like, I don't turn the ball over anymore. So I believe the Chiefs have to play into that. I believe the Chiefs, because Josh Allen, he has a focus on not turning the ball over, not making mistakes, almost Aaron Rodgers-ish over the last few years, especially those MVP years. He would not make a throw to not have a turnover. So I believe if Spags can put up a game plan that make Josh Allen think too much, make him overanalyze and things like that. I think that is what's going to basically goat him into trying to make some plays. That guy looks open, make that throw. Let's see what happens.
When it's easy for Josh Allen to be so dominant, when his offensive line is insane and they give him 5 seconds to throw the football, if the Chiefs can apply pressure defensively, and so Josh Allen doesn't have all the time in the world to just sit back there and find Khalil Shakir downfield, that's the game plan to beat him because he is very deadly as a runner. You're going to probably have to put Leo Chenal or Hicks on him as a spy because if he gets out and he has the angle, he's capable of running for like 25 yards. And you saw in that first game, that 4th and 2, they didn't have a spy on Josh Allen, and he just absolutely molested us and got into the end zone. We lost. So it's just like you can't have that type of stuff. And I don't expect the Chiefs to make the same mistakes defensively, but it's pretty much going to start with, can you get pressure on Josh Allen? Because if you can't get pressure, I mean, Covell, it could be a really bad night at Arrowhead.
Well, for sure. And but going back to that week 12 game when he had that big run, I believe all game and all season the Chiefs played vanilla defense. I believe that they didn't want to show anything. And the benefit of the Chiefs being such a good team is they beat the Texans and didn't even have to dig deep into that playbook, They didn't have to do the Ben Johnson and, they do the fake fumble play and the fake receiver pass. They didn't have to do any
no
of
flea
that.
flickers, nothing crazy.
Nothing. And you know what? I have been a proponent. Is that the right word? Opponent. I have been a proponent of the cute little plays at the goal line. Like that, I think. And I know Andy Reid's like a mad scientist. He's putting this together, trying to figure it out so at the right moment he can call that play. But I don't like them, and I hope in the goal to go, I hope the Chiefs just play straight up ball because settling for some field goals will really help Josh Allen and that team as far as confidence and things like that. But I'm confident in the Chiefs being able to get a guy on Josh Allen. I think they just didn't want to show what they were going to do in the playoffs if they see him.
I hope you're right. Like I've heard a lot that the Chiefs were just, holding their punches in the regular season and that they're going to turn it on in the playoffs. And then against the Texans in the first round, they're kind of just like, the offense left a lot to be desired. They didn't even throw, or complete a pass to a wide receiver other than Xavier Worthy. They just used Travis Kelce and Worthy, and that's really all they needed. But Josh Allen is a different beast. If they don't stop Josh Allen in this game, you're going to have to go on offense and go point for point with them. And I'm not sure if the Chiefs offense is built to do that. I mean, I think that Patrick Mahomes is fantastic. I think that they can put up enough points to win, but I don't know if this team can score 35, 40 points. I don't know if they're built for that. And I'll say this.
Chiefs?
Yeah, I don't think the Chiefs are. Are you?
I believe they are. I believe, well, once again, I believe all season was to let's get to the playoffs. Let's play this game here. Let's not try to put too much pressure on that left tackle position. Let's just get in there and like technically it's it's the lunch pail, the bootstraps, idea of coaching or philosophy. We're just gonna get it done. And speaking of only one receiver caught the ball, which was Worthy. That was like if somebody gave you a gun and said you have 10 bullets and there is a whole bunch of zombies in that building, and you walked in that building and you only shot 5 bullets because 3 of them walked into one. That's a crazy analogy. I understand.
No, I'm with you, though. I'm with you.
But I feel like, the other guys didn't catch the ball. We still got bullets in the chamber. The Hopkins, he's not done. Hollywood Brown, he's had some pretty good games. Pacheco can catch it out of the backfield. We got Justin Watson when we need him. Kadarius Toney's on the couch somewhere. But other than that, I think we're, I think the Chiefs offense is
Cancun right
good.
now.
No, I don't know.
Cancun or Cleveland, there's really at this point in the year, there's just no difference. But to kind of piggyback off of what you said, this Chiefs team can't settle for field goals. If they do that, Josh Allen is just going to go up by 14, and then they got to dig themselves out of that hole. And so they need to be very aggressive offensively in those 4th down situations or 3rd and 6, 4th and 2. They've got to go for it because that's what Buffalo's going to do, and they're probably going to convert on a pretty good portion of those. But before we go any further, guys, I want to give a shout out to the sponsor of this video, Mosey. This video is sponsored by my friends over at Mosey. Mosey is a wearable and weatherproof thermal wrap which is 500% warmer than a normal stadium blanket. It has great features like large front pockets for storage and also a hands-free option so you can stand up and sit down and cheer on your Chiefs team without feeling restricted. And if you're going to the AFC Championship game this Sunday and you're bringing the wife, you're bringing the kids, you have got to keep them warm because so many fans leave the game before it's over because they're too cold. They got frostbite. They're just not able to withstand the conditions of Arrowhead Stadium. It's going to be in the low 20s, the high 30s for this game, and the best way you can keep your significant other and your kids warm is by using a Mosey. Go check out the link in my description and use code KCSR for 30% off your entire order at checkout. This is for a limited time only, so go ahead and click the link in my description and go get yourself a Mosey. Huge shout out to Mosey for sponsoring this video, but getting back into the topic, Covell, I got a couple more questions for you before we wrap this thing up. Okay. I feel like we have gotten a lot of just hate over the past couple of weeks for all the officiating and just, the Chiefs had the NFL's, they got it rigged and whatever. I mean, I don't even know where to go with that, but I feel like we are going to see an officiated game where the ref is going to swallow a lot of those whistles. Do you think that we see a game in which both quarterbacks don't really get a lot of calls?
Well, and I'll preface it with saying this. There's an old saying that, what is it? Just because I'm paranoid doesn't mean somebody's not trying to kill me. So, yeah. Almost like the LeBron James, he flops too much or he's acting. Yeah, he's still the best player. You take the flops away, he's still for his career averages 28, 7, and 7. So Mahomes, on the other hand, both of those roughing the passer calls, I wouldn't have called. I would have been all right if they didn't call it. But I'm fine that they did because the letter of the law says if you lead with your helmet, if you lunge forward and you make contact with the helmet, it's a penalty. And it's a bummer, so to speak. But look at the Dez Bryant catch. Remember that back in the day? Who were they playing against? The Vikings?
Green Bay.
So they said that wasn't a catch, and then people adjusted to it. So as far as and once again, I'm a numbers nerd. If you look at the league from the time that Patrick Mahomes came into the league, the Chiefs are about the 24th in offensive penalties, specifically roughing the passer. You know who's number one?
Is it Buffalo?
It's Josh Allen.
I'll tell you what, Josh Allen's a flopper too, dog. Like I've seen Josh Allen, do his best, Oscar performance of just throwing himself around the football field. So I think we see a very interesting officiated game on Saturday, or I guess on Sunday night. We're not going to see a lot of whistles. I think they're just going to let the guys play, and I'm kind of all for that. But Covell, my final question for you, without giving an official score prediction, I want you to tell me, is this a game that comes down to the wire? Do you think the Chiefs have this, comfortably in the fourth quarter, or is this something that could potentially go to overtime?
Okay, so I'm going to give an answer, and it sounds like a non-answer, but it's an answer. I believe this game can go two ways. I believe it's a nail-biter, and the Chiefs win the way that they do, and then whoever they play in the Super Bowl will be a cakewalk. No offense to the NFC. I believe. Did I lose it? Oh, come on! It was. What was it? What was the question?
Oh, I asked you. Do you think this game goes to overtime? Is it going to be a close
there it
game?
is. There it is. It's a close game. The Chiefs are going to win the way they win. They go down by 10 points and then win, and then we're all stressed, or the Chiefs put everything together. Look at the defense. They put everything together. The couple weeks before, the offense put everything together. So if the Chiefs do everything right and contain Josh Allen, I believe the Bills can still put up points, say maybe 21. And you said you don't think the Chiefs are capable of scoring 30, 35. I believe it could look something like that.
Okay.
No, I believe it's going to look something like that. I believe the Chiefs do something like 35-21. Because, even with the Texans, it was a close game, but it never felt like a close game.
No.
And to go back to the refs question, I believe the Chiefs are going to play such a clean game, we won't even know the names of the refs that day. That is my proclamation, because there could be a few calls, but I don't think they're going to have anything to do with the outcome of the game.
Just like every freaking football game that's ever happened. Like, there's going to be some calls. Some will go your way, some won't go your way. But I think you make a great point. Like, contain Josh Allen, and you're going to win this football game. If you can't do that, if he's just throwing all over your defense and he's running wild, it could be a very difficult task for this Chiefs team to win this AFC Championship game. So,
for sure.
Covell, it's been a pleasure to get you on this show. I want to ask, where can the people find all of your stuff? Just go ahead and plug everything.
All right, my Twitter is Covell Hudson. My YouTube is Covell Hudson Comedy. You can check out some of my comedy on there. Facebook, Covell Hudson, and I was going to say TikTok, but I don't even know what's going on with TikTok.
Right now, that's to be determined.
Covell Hudson, if TikTok is open. Instagram, Covell Hudson, and do a weekly show, Sports Radio 810. And I'm excited to be here, man. I hope we do this more often.
Absolutely. We're going to have to get you on weekly. And guys, all that stuff will be linked in the description of this video. Hit that like button, subscribe for more daily Chiefs coverage. And until next time, thank you for watching. And as always, go Chiefs.